Well, we did get one winner today. Thelma Devons won herself $16. Shucks, we couldn't give away any more. But anyway, she won $16 just for watching the Dialing for Dollars movie, and we hope to give away some big bucks later on in the week. Got some good comedies lined up for you, starting tomorrow with The Night They Raided Minsky's. It's Jason Robards and Britt Eklund in the classic movie. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And I want to remind you that Joe's own shot went for 79 today, and he had to postpone the rest of the match because of the inclement weather. He'll be back on the greens tomorrow trying to hit 79, and we'll keep you in suspense as to how well he was doing so far today. Thanks for being with us. See you tomorrow here on the $16,000 station.
Joe's own has 79 in mind, but Mother Nature has something else on her mind. I'm Karen Harch. Those stories and more next on Newswatch 16.
This is the news station, WNEP 16.
Good evening, I'm Karen Harch. Nolan Johannes has the night off. In Lackawanna County, state environmental officials are keeping an eye on a brush fire that broke out over the weekend. The fire is in an area near the old Taylor dump, a dump where the government says toxic wastes are buried. Officials say the fire did spread to some old barrels in the dump, but right now the state isn't sure what, if any, new danger the fire has caused for people living near that Taylor dump. In Hazleton, some firefighters are threatening to walk out, but licensed practical nurses at St. Joseph's Hospital continue their strike. They walked out of the hospital Friday morning, and tonight no new talks are planned. Both the hospital and the nurses say they are willing to bargain. The LPNs want a pay hike. And Newswatch 16 continues with trying to give sight to a blind baby. We'll be right back.
Everything you want to know about outdoor life Saturday.
In Hazleton, volunteer firefighters are searching for a solution to a problem they say is hurting their firefighting abilities. Newswatch 16's Mark Davis is live now in Hazleton, where they have presented a list of demands to City Council. Mark?
Karen, what it amounts to is the volunteer firemen here in the city of Hazleton have issued an ultimatum. And if Hazleton City Council does not meet those demands by Thursday night, the volunteers will start not answering fire calls. Those three demands were contained in a letter to Hazleton City Council received this morning and read just about an hour ago. The volunteers in the letter are demanding the two firehouses closed because of budget cuts be reopened, that an aerial ladder truck that was recently bought by the city be returned because the volunteers say it does not meet specifications. And thirdly, that the Public Safety Commissioner, Councilman Ron Hess, be replaced by someone else. Those demands, the volunteers say, if they are not met by Thursday night, the volunteers will assemble on the steps of City Hall at 7:30 and begin to boycott their duties as volunteer firemen here in Hazleton. Now, there was a small delegation of volunteer firemen at the City Council meeting, but they would not comment. They just heard that the mayor and the City Council members plead with them for more time to give some time for the two sides to sit down and iron out the differences before it comes to a boycott. Now, the volunteers did not make a comment at the meeting. They will go back to their individual fire companies tonight, and the Volunteer Firemen's Federation here in Hazleton meets at 9 o'clock tonight to discuss what has happened today. Whether or not they will give them more time, we just do not know. So we should know more after the football game whether or not volunteer firemen here in Hazleton will begin withholding their duties on Thursday night. Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, live with the Instacam in the city of Hazleton. Karen?
Mark, what will all this mean to fire protection in the city of Hazleton?
Karen, the easiest way we can put it is this. There are about 100 volunteers in Hazleton and about 30 paid firefighters. So if you put that into perspective, say if there was a fire call and 10 men answered on a normal basis, this would mean that 7 wouldn't, because approximately 7 out of every 10 firefighters here in Hazleton are volunteers.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Doctors in Boston will try to give little Guy Wright his sight tomorrow. We told you last week that the 16-month-old baby from New Columbus in Luzerne County has been blind since birth. Area Lions clubs and hundreds of friends raised $40,000 to send Guy Wright, along with his parents, to Boston for eye surgery. That surgery is scheduled for tomorrow morning, but doctors have told the Wrights there's no hope of saving one eye, and the other eye has a slim chance of improvement. Health screenings will be done on former employees of 2 chemical plants in Clinton County. The state has agreed to do the screenings next January on hundreds of former workers at the Drake Chemical Plant and the American Color and Chemical Plant, both in Lock Haven. This was all decided today because of a report last week that shows Clinton County has the highest rate of leukemia in the nation. The former workers accuse the chemical plants of causing long-range illnesses, and the report has fueled that controversy. There's a controversy brewing in Berwick over jobs at the Pennsylvania Power and Light Company. Newswatch 16's Bob Reynolds reports that the Columbia County community needs jobs, and it's looking to the utility for them.
Vincent DeAugustine has made his living in Berwick for the last 36 years. He owns a clothing store and has other business interests. But DeAugustine and some others worry that their futures may be on shaky ground.
If Berwick does not revitalize, we all have problems, and we may, I'm not saying, but I say we may go down the drain because we need help and we need it bad.
Officials say Berwick's downtown needs a shot in the arm. Unemployment is running around 18%. Fires have ravaged some businesses, leaving only empty lots behind. So Berwick officials are now looking a few miles north of town for help to Pennsylvania Power and Light Company. It owns this $3 billion nuclear power plant, but about 250 people who help keep the plant going are based in Allentown, 60 miles away. Some Berwick officials want PP&L to move those jobs from its corporate headquarters to Berwick.
We emphatically are telling PP&L that we think that you owe us this consideration because we have been, in my own words, good to the Pennsylvania Power and Light Company.
Others say moving the jobs from Allentown to Berwick would in the long run save PP&L and its customers money.
They'd have a lower budget than what they would have in the Allentown area. And that would save people money, ratepayers money.
Berwick officials say they even have plenty of empty buildings which PP&L can use. PP&L declined to talk to us on camera, but will meet with Berwick officials in the future. Meanwhile, those Berwick officials hope that for the sake of the downtown, their proposal will not evaporate into thin air. Bob Reynolds, Newswatch 16, Luzerne County.
A total of 140 new jobs are expected in the Hazleton area over the next 3 years. The Stroman Brothers Bakery will hire the workers for its new bakery and distribution center at the Valmont Industrial Park. It costs $3.5 million to fix up the old Spalding Bakery. The new operation with 25 workers officially opened in West Hazleton today. And Newswatch 16 continues with our own meteorologist, Tom Clark. Stay with us.
16 Sports Final Friday on Newswatch 16 Update.
Well, with the dry conditions and all the brush fires, we really needed some rain today. Tom Clark is out in our soggy backyard. Tom, is it enough rain, though, to help out?
It is, Karen, for starters, but nothing heavy, unfortunately. A little bit of rain last night, a little bit this afternoon, and I guess the only person that did not appreciate the rain today was our own Joe Zone, who got rained out on the golf course this afternoon. But I think he'll be pleased with what I have to say about tomorrow's weather. And with only about 3/100ths of an inch in this backyard, very light rainfall, I'm also going to be talking about big changes coming in the temperature department later on this week. Outside now, here's what we have, a sun shower at the moment. The sun coming out in the west. We have a reading of 68 degrees with the humidity up there of 70%. The wind now southeast at 4, and the barometer is holding steady at 29.97 inches. High today in this backyard was 73. Not much of a range today. The low last night, 65. Records 97 and 36 set way back in 1917. That is live there at the Wilkes-Barre Municipal Golf Course, where it looks like there are some shadows showing up on the fairways, but too late for Joe Zone's game, I suppose. Now let me show you how the jet stream, or the winds in the upper atmosphere from 20 to 35,000 feet were blowing last week. Basically from the southwest and way up over Canada, well north of Pennsylvania, allowing a big hot air bubble to build and move east over the weekend. But this is how the change is taking place for well, it's not going to change for me because I probably forgot to set the computer. So, however, the jet stream wind's now blowing in from the southeast. There it goes. Thank you, Hank. Coming in from the southeast now. Look at the change. Further south and more from the northwest coming down out of Canada. And that's going to allow some nice cool air to come down and build over our region along about, well, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. You may need a sweater by Wednesday morning, folks. Now let me show you the satellite photograph taken this afternoon. This will show, well, there's the east coast of the U.S., there's Bermuda out about there. That is Hurricane Chantal, a third tropical storm of the season, 75-mile-per-hour winds. Chantal moving northeastward about 590 miles now east of Bermuda, so it poses only a threat to shipping and not to land. Now here is the leading edge of some very cool air coming down from Canada. Still some hot air south of Pennsylvania. 99 in Norfolk, Virginia this afternoon. That broke a record which had been on the books since 1900. So they sweltered down that way. You can see the rain clouds over Pennsylvania. That clearing line there now moving in. But readings held in the 50s and 60s up this way at Minot, North Dakota this afternoon at noon, 47 degrees. So there was plenty of cool air moving down from the north, and it's going to get here later on tonight, and we will hold in the low 70s here tomorrow with a mixture of clouds and sunshine. So some big changes on the way thanks to changes in jet stream winds high overhead. So our forecast for tonight will look like this. A shower until about 9 o'clock tonight in eastern portions of our viewing area. Otherwise, we'll see some clearing skies and a little bit of sunset this evening as well. 54 the low in Tunkhannock, 55 in Tobyhanna, about 56 in Mahanoy City, 55 in Faxton for the low tonight. That's out towards Williamsport. And Lewisburg will see a low of 57 degrees tonight. Now for tomorrow, we'll have some cloudiness and some sunshine, but with a cool breeze from the northeast. It'll feel great. Joe Zone, you hear me? No rain tomorrow. 72 Carbondale, about 73 in Nanacoke, love it. 73 in Lehighton, and about 73 for the high in Jersey Shore tomorrow. 75 down in Sunbury, and there's that northeast wind up to about 14 miles per hour at times in the afternoon. So, let's take a look at our board after I take down the umbrella. Some sunshine tomorrow after a morning low of 57, 73 tomorrow. Look at Wednesday, the high, 67 degrees. Look at the high on Thursday, only 65. That's about 10 degrees below normal. So look forward to it. I'm sure you all will. Friday, fair skies, 68 degrees. And I'll bet that we don't see temperatures above 90 until next summer. And Karen, that's okay with me. How about you?
Well, I don't mind the 90s as long as I'm by a swimming pool or something, you know.
Okay, well, this is the last full week of summer now, so
yeah, those
time's running
temperatures
out.
don't look like summer, though.
No, they don't.
Okay, thanks a lot, Tom.
I'm Mike Stevens on the Pennsylvania Road for Newswatch 16, and I meet a lot of interesting people. A maker of some interesting gadgets, a very special group of bell ringers, a builder of some very fine furniture, competitors in a rather unusual contest. Those are just some of the folks I've met so far. I hope you'll join me for a visit with some others on the Pennsylvania Road on Newswatch 16.
People in the Poconos will get a chance tonight to let the government know how they feel about living without trucks. The government is holding a public hearing at the courthouse in Stroudsburg tonight to talk about a truck ban on Route 209. From Skycam 16, you can see this section of the highway in Monroe County is quiet now that trucks from outside our area have been prohibited from using it. Residents complain that Route 209 is crowded and dangerous before the temporary truck ban went into effect last July. The government wants to study the effects of the Route 209 truck ban before deciding to make it permanent. And Newswatch 16 will be at tonight's public meeting in Stroudsburg. We'll let you know what happens tonight on Newswatch 16 Update. Trucks are also on the minds of some people in Lackawanna County's Covington Township. That's because a rig with no driver inside plowed into the basement of this apartment house this morning. It happened along Route 435 while the driver was having breakfast in a diner across the street. Police say he left the rig running and the brakes apparently slipped. No one in the Covington Township apartment was hurt, just a little shaken up. And Tim Karlson is up next with the sports and a wet Joe Zone who still has 79 in mind.
Serving all of northeastern and central Pennsylvania, this is wnep-tv.
Tim Karlson is here for Joe Zone, who's probably dumping puddles out of his golf shoes right now. What do you think, Tim?
The poor guy, I tell you, it's going to take him a week to clean him up, you know, but I don't think he's going to have a week to clean him up. I'm not sure exactly what the story is with Joe. We're going to find out in just a second, but I don't think he had too much fun today. It wasn't very nice for golf.
A little soggy for golf.
Oh, you're not kidding. No cooperation from the weather today for Joe Zone to shoot his round of golf at Wilkes-Barre Golf Club, of course, with 79 in mind. Joe was able to complete 9 of the 18 holes today before the rain halted play, and let's take a look at what he's done so far, and then we'll get to Joe. Well, now that we've had a look at it, let's see here. The first tee, a straight enough shot, but Joe tops the ball a bit, gets a good roll on the hard ground. Now we're still on number 1. Joe finds the woods real quick, but he recovers nicely with this shot to the green. That's a nice shot for Joseph. Now we go to hole number 5. Not a hole to remember for Joe. Mr. Zone with a 10 on the scorecard. He finally makes it to the green. But no fear for Joe. On the next hole, he recovers nicely for his first par of the day. How about this chip? A great chip shot there. A very, very nice one just on the green there, and a nice approach shot coming up here. He just misses a birdie here. Look at this. Real close. Oh! And then he pars out. Nice hole for Joe there on number 5. Now, a thinning gallery from the hard rain watches a soaked Joe Zone miss another birdie. Sorry, Joe, but it just goes to the right there. He pars out one-handed. This is the new one-handed par shot here for Joe. Very nice. And then the rain delay halted play. Well, now that we've had a look at Joe's progress today, let's hear what the man himself has to say. Joseph, just how wet are you, my friend?
It got a little soggy out here. I appreciate Karen in the background laughing at some of those shots. That's easy for her sitting there, you know, doing lead-ins to stories she never saw before. It was tough. There was a crowd on the first hole, and I was obviously a little bit nervous. We decided we could not play through. It would be just like any other golf tournament. You just couldn't play after 9 holes. So we stopped at 54, and tomorrow I'm coming back out here. There were some ladies who stayed around today. They were cheering me along. They were here when I was getting the pars, the one par and a couple of other nice shots I had. So I'm coming back out tomorrow. I'll be here at 4 o'clock. I'm going to tee off right here on the 10th green, the 10th hole, and I'm going to try to finish it up and still shoot for 79. All I need is what, about 25 on this side. Realistically now, I've just got to try to make a good score. And remember, you know, the contest is still alive. Somebody's still going to win, you know, some golf clubs.
Oh, now I understand that you made quite a good shot on the 4th bunker, so why don't you watch it with us here and take a look at this great shot you made coming out of the bunker. Tell us about it.
Well, I have a lot of practice playing out of the sand, to be perfectly honest with you. I play on the courses with the sand. You just blasted that one away, and I did get close and had a chance to make a par out of that. And the name of the game in golf is, as the pros told me, is recovery. The 10 on 5 really hurt. I yanked a couple of them into the woods, and you just don't recover from a 10 no matter what you're trying to do. A 10 is on the card, and there's nothing you can do about it.
All right, Joe. That was a real fine shot out of the bunker, though, and congratulations. Really, I got to admit, with all the pressure, you're doing a fine job.
Thank you, Tim. We'll try again tomorrow.
All right, we'll catch you later.
See you later.
Okay, Tim.
And Joseph back there tomorrow, he finishes up. Maybe he can score a 25 to get 79.
You know, between me and you, I want to find out where he's keeping that bag of golf clubs. I want to arm myself with one when he comes back.
Oh, man, they are super golf clubs. We'll see who wins those tomorrow, too. See you later.
They may be missing one, though, when I get it. Thanks, Tim. And we'll go on the Pennsylvania Road with Mike Stevens as Newswatch 16 continues.
Happened, we were there. Newswatch 16 is everywhere.
Finally tonight, a story that can really grow on you. It's something Newswatch 16's Mike Stevens picked in a garden along the Pennsylvania Road in Wayne County.
The woods that line the road into George Hopkins' Lake Wallenpaupack home used to run all over this hill, but not anymore. He started clearing in 1968.
When I got my own place, I thought it would be nice to have a few flowers in the backyard, and it all started there, and I've kind of built into an impossible situation here.
So on George's Hill are hundreds of flowers that literally paint his yard with their colors. Foxgloves looking like little bells. Giant dahlias showing their prettiest face. George Hopkins' place can refresh your tired eyes. It makes him forget all the hours invested.
The month of April and May, I spend about 12 to 16 hours a day. But once everything is transplanted outside and well established, I would spend, I would guess, maybe 10 hours a week.
Few of us have that kind of time to invest in clipping, digging, and tending. So it's a good thing people like George are around, or else we'd miss all this.
In April and May, you begin to question whether it's worth all of that, but now that I've reached this point and you can sit back and enjoy the beauty of it, I think it's worth it.
George says maybe he won't have as many flowers next year, needs more time to do other things. Of course, you never know. Those flower catalogs coming in the dead of winter could change all that. I'm Mike Stevens, Newswatch 16 on the Pennsylvania Road at Lake Wallenpaupack.
Beautiful. And that's Newswatch 16 for this Monday. Be sure to join us tonight on The Update when we'll find out how the people in the Poconos feel about the Route 209 truck ban. For the team, including Joe's own, who's all wet anyhow, thanks for being with us and enjoy your evening.